We're going to calculate the rate of change of a linear function represented graphically and determine the slope of a line given a graph or 2 points on the line. Graphically, the rate of change is represented by the slope, and the rate of change describes the change in the y variable with respect to the change in the x variable. On a graph, the change in y is represented by the vertical change, which we call the rise. And the change in the x variable is represented by the horizontal change, which we call the run. Now, since rate of change and slope are the same thing, we can also use the slope formula to determine the slope or the rate of change. The slope formula is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So again, we have the change in y divided by the change in x, which will give us the rate of change or our slope. And to do that, we need at least 2 points on the line. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, so let's look at problem number 1. The graph of a linear function is shown on the grid. Find the rate of change of y with respect to x for this function. Now remember, to find rate of change on a graph, we need at least 2 points. So I'm going to find 2 easy to read points. Here's 1. 1, 2 is my coordinate pair. And I can find another one right here, which is -3, 6. And now that I have 2 points, I can make a table and enter my 2 points into the table. My first point is 1, 2, and my second point is -3, 6. I can now find the change in y and divide it by the change in x to get my rate of change. On my y variable, I'm going from 2 to 6, which is an increase of 4. And my x variable, I'm going from 1 to -3, which is a decrease of 4. So my change in y is a positive 4, and my change in x is a -4. So 4 divided by -4 gives me a -1. We can also find rate of change from a graph by actually drawing on our graph to find rise over run. And remember, rise is our vertical change in the graph. So here I'm going to go up 4, and then I'm going to go left 4. And since I'm going left, it's going to be a -4. So my rise is 4, my run is -4, and again, 4 divided by -4 is -1. And finally, since rate of change and slope are the same, I can use my slope formula, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So looking at my points, I have 6 minus 2 divided by -3 minus 1. And again, 6 minus 2 equals 4, and -3 minus 1 is -4. So 4 divided by -4 equals -1. So I've shown you 3 different ways that you can find rate of change from a graph. The first way, you can make a table. The second way, you can draw on the graph and find rise over run. And the third way, use the slope formula.